It's getting low. I do have another one now. So today we're going to be doing Christmas in July. Thank you, replay crew. Thank you those who circled back to see what you missed. I appreciate that. As per usual, I am tired. And as per usual, these are the brushes that we used last night's live stream. That of course I didn't remember were hanging up behind me until I sat here. So yeah, this was all one look. All these brushes. Hey Janet. And so I'm gonna put these away. I did just show Janet the brushes that I used yesterday that of course I forgot were hanging up behind me. So we're gonna put those away. It's just astounding to me. Even though I know I use a lot of brushes, like seeing them all hanging on the thing, I'm like, that's a lot of freaking brushes. Tonight we're going to be doing Christmas in July. So we're going to draw some balls on my face. We're going to be using the Notoriously Morbid Mary Mean One palette. And just to make it more Christmassy, we're going to draw balls on the face. We're also going to do an eye look though. And so that was like a last minute thing, like, oh, what if I do some decorations on my face? And it did come out around Christmas. I clean after every use, or at least before I use them again. So that's why sometimes I'll have like 3 days worth of makeup brushes lined up at my sink because I do wash them before I reuse them. But I do like to wash them afterwards because it accumulates really quick. So this did come out in 2024, around in December. And so, do you clean yours after every use too, or you just wait? Because I know some people they wait until, I don't know, like once a month maybe, but they spot clean. I'd rather just clean them than spot clean, but that's just a me thing. And they say it does help. I didn't see any research on it. Hey, again, you say, how are you? And so they do say it does help prolong the life of your makeup. I don't know. There was no research done on it because as you're using brushes, if there's oils on your lids or whatever, shadow base or whatever, it then gets into, you know, the makeup. The same as if you use your fingers for makeup. You want to get oils in your shadows. And so they say it helps. There was no research on it. I don't know. I just know I like to have my stuff clean. And so that's just a me thing. I'm keeping out the brushes I think I'm going to use for this look. I do also have here the CC Beauty Professional Face and Body Paint Palette. This is what we're going to use to draw the balls. And I think we'll do those first because I'm thinking for people who scroll by, they'll be like, why she have balls on her face? And so I think it may bring some new people. I still have it moderated. Hello, A. Rodriguez. How are you? And I do believe it's still on an hour, I believe. And so we'll see what happens. And I did that when I scheduled them. Actually, I went back and did it after I scheduled them when I saw, you know, the changes that were happening. So now this is all empty. It was almost full, and that's ridiculous for one look. And we are now using 3 of the Real Techniques 210s because for the primer under here, and then another one for the red under here, flip it over, the orange under here, and then that goes bye-bye. And then we use this one for eye primer and eyeshadow base. Stuff adds up. I did just take a sip of Mountain Dew because I'm tired today. I did open up, well, I didn't open it yet. Brand new Fenty eyeshadow primer. I have my label here. Hi. My name is Dion, I'm a labeler. So we're going to do the intro while I am putting on Beauty Bio eye cream, and we're going to get started with the face. I have a dry patch of skin right here. Brows. I don't know why lately I've been forgetting to do my brows. So we're going to do hiccups. Excuse me. We're going to do. Excuse me. I'm getting it together, y'all. As soon as that Mountain Dew kicks in, you know, we'll be okay. Hello again and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the Fenty Beauty Brow MVP. I call this channel, I'm silly. I call this channel the Crazy Troll Nation. Why do I call it that? Crazy concept. Knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. The troll part of the Crazy Troll Nation is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain tool, a certain brand, or a certain technique because that's what they're telling you in the video you're watching. I'm telling you, listen, use whatever you want to, however you want to, with whatever tools you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, but never feeling like we have to. Listen, love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. So that's what we stand for here, wearing what you want to and rocking it and knowing that you're amazing. The makeup doesn't make you, you make the makeup. And so there are some people that don't feel put together unless they have on mascara and lipstick. I'm like, you are together. You're just amazing. And tell yourself that and really believe it as best you can. And if you don't believe it, keep telling it to yourself until you do believe it. And then still keep telling yourself just as a reminder that I'm an amazing person. What? Yes. Yes, I am. And self-care is very important. Positive self-talk is underrated. And not to be conceited or braggadocious or egotistical, but just knowing that you're a cool person. And so that's our motto here. That's what we live by as best we can. That's what we stand for. So here, troll is a good thing. It's like we just wear what we want to, regardless of what people say. Oh, you should do this or you should do that. How about you mind your own business? Hi, Kawa. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. Oh, you're going to go. Oh, you know what? I didn't hit the right button. Let me see. I thought I had it on it for an hour. Maybe I don't. We'll find out. And the thing is like once the live starts, I cannot make any changes to it. But we will see what happens. Hey, yo. How you doing? Technology? I need a sentence. Can I have a full sentence? Hey, yo, please. Full sentence for my eyebrow pencil here so I can know what you're talking about. I am very tired today. I did not go to sleep this morning, y'all, till like 10 o'clock. Oh, you're saying you're old. Technology means that I'm old? I am middle-aged. I'm definitely middle-aged. So is that like a new slang term for middle-aged people is technology? I'm confused. I can't keep up with y'all youngsters. How old are you, Ayo? Just out of curiosity. And the thing is, people think I'm younger than I look. And I'm just like, thank you. So how old are you? And is that a new slang? So two questions. How old are you? And number two, is that slang for middle-aged people? Oh, I think I get what you're saying. Because I don't know how to use the technology, that means I'm old. If that's what you're saying, I understand. But the thing with live streams is once you start it, you cannot change your settings. And so that's not me not understanding technology. That's me just understanding that YouTube, once you start a live stream, you can't change your settings. And so that's not a misunderstanding thing. It's just something that YouTube does not allow us to do, if that's what you were talking about. If that's it. I did turn my thermostat down 2 degrees. It is really humid outside. I'm looking at my brows. And after the live stream, I'll put it back where it was. The thermostat. Yeah, I do not like new technology. And I cannot stand like this AI stuff. I'm like, I do not use Alexa. I do not use, what's that other thing? Siri. I don't use none of those. I'm like, I can get up and turn on a light switch. Like, I don't need... an app to turn on the light switch. So I just like just get up, just walk to the switch and click the switch. Like, it is not difficult. And I will say, like, the new generation, meaning like the adolescents and early teens, or I should say tweens, they cannot relate to us, and we be looking at them like, y'all just don't understand how to live, because everybody's on their phones and all the tech stuff. And it's like, if we sent them back in time, would they be able to survive? They would have a fit. I think I'm gonna leave my brows like this, I say, as I go back in, because I think I'm gonna put a cream over it, that Makeup Forever dual chrome, multi-chrome actually. Excuse me. Two things about me I neglected to say at the end of my intro is, one, I curse sometimes because I curse sometimes, and number two, there's an organism named Bruce that lives in my throat that likes to randomly hiccup, gurgle, and belch during videos, and particularly during live streams, because I may have just eaten breakfast before I came to sit here. This is Beauty Bio, the highlighter concentrate, because I like putting extra moisture, that's a lot, under my eyes before I put product or makeup product under here. I don't remember it squeezing out this much before. This is like quite a bit here. And so, yeah, I am not a tech person at all. One of my official troll kin, like their day job is tech stuff. And so when I have questions, that's who I text. I'm like, hey, can you help me figure this out? So I think it's really cool, like we all have, you know, different things that we do and different things that we understand, because then we can help each other out. This is all like all over this thing. So I'm gonna wipe this off just so it doesn't build up on the applicator. Put that down. Not fall you down, put you down. And after foundation, we're going to do the balls on the face. Or after, you know what, after we do the complexion products, the whole entire base face, we'll come back and do that. If I don't forget, which is likely. I'm tired today. We're just going to do a dollop of primer under here. Take one of these brushes, smooth that out. If anybody's new here and you're speaking, I cannot see you. One day I'm gonna touch it and see what happens. I'm gonna touch it and see if it's gonna allow me to see all messages and not delete the chat. This is Prime Pro Medics Under Eye Brightening Corrector, and this is the orange. So we're gonna put this under our eyes with this brush. This is the Real Techniques number 210. Janny can probably tell you all my brushes off the bat because I use the same ones and I have multiples. That's why that drying rack before. Yeah, I do like to use a clean brush for each color, but for this right here, this is the side where the orange one, we're going to flip to this side, and we're going to take their red one and we're going to put this under our nose. It's not going to do too much, but yeah, my disrespectful mustache area here. I thought about, Janet, I thought about doing the last homework assignment for Module 2 live, but then I realized I need to be able to see my notes. And I could have my laptop over here, but then I think it would just take longer. Yes, I'm almost done Module 2. One more homework assignment to do. I'll be done with Module 2. We're going to sit this down, and I'm going to take our Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer, sorry for that glare, NY11. So just 3 little dots here with the tip, and then we're going to lay it flat and do this here because that's a wider area. Hey, Lot, just finished watching. I haven't watched any of those, Lot. I ain't watching none of them. Excuse me. So we're going to take a clean one. So this is why we use 3 of these, because I don't want to mix the colors as far as the corrector colors. And so there's 2 ways to do the gunshot wound. Of course, they're saying the easiest way is to paint it. But they're saying it can get expensive. You love football? Because if you're on set and you know that scene or that take is supposed to be done like next week, and then you go on set and they be like, oh, we changed the schedule, we're going to do it today, and you're like, oh crap, I don't have my kit. So they're saying it is good to, I like how that looks. It's good to know how to just paint them. I also do have, from one of the kits that I purchased, I actually do have 2 prosthetic transfers for gunshot wounds. But I want to paint it though. I just want to see how it turns out. It does take a little bit longer. Well, actually, they both take about the same amount of time. So the way that takes longer is just painting it and using latex and cotton rounds. And what was funny is a lot of the supplies I didn't have because they didn't send me the kit, and so I purchased stuff that I needed. But then even with that, the instructor is using stuff that came in the kit that I didn't purchase, and I'm just like, dang it. And so for it is so funny, I laughed. So to paint it on, to do the gunshot wound using latex and cotton balls, and I'm like, I don't have cotton balls. Out of all things not to have, what is this? That's like yesterday, it was a red mark right there. I'm like, what is this? Yo, I don't know what's happening. So, I mean, it actually made me laugh. I'm like, I don't even have cotton balls, but I do have cotton rounds. And with the cotton balls, they pull it apart. And so I am thinking that the rounds will still allow me to do that. Because I'm just like, I ain't buying no cotton balls, y'all. I purchased 1 full pump of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. But I thought that was so funny. Because I could see, okay, I don't have alcohol activated paints. I don't have, I do have, oh, this is down to here, y'all. This is the Fenty foundation. I opened this in April this year, and I'm already down to here, y'all. This is the luminous one. We're gonna do 1 full pump, and we're gonna put that on top of the primer. Stage blood, and it's just like, not to say little random things. Bald cap, of course I didn't have a bald cap, but there is a lesson. They show you how to apply a bald cap. I'm gonna take the Real Techniques number 200. You had a memory lapse when you said, "For gosh, I almost forgot about this time." I thought, Dion, when, how? Oh, I'm sorry, like. And I'm always hesitant to even say that here on YouTube because I don't want them to feel like I'm talking about something violent or to misunderstand the context. You know what I mean? And so I hesitated saying that, but yeah, that's the last homework assignment for Module 2. And because I moved a little quicker, I don't have, because I planned out in my calendar, I wrote it out first, and then I put it in my calendar, like what days doing what lessons and when to do the homeworks. And so because I moved a little ahead, well, quicker, I don't have anything for school for the next 2 days, but I'm still going to do it because that'll just get me ahead of where I'm going. And then if I do, and I did leave an empty day, a no makeup day, maybe like once a week and a half. So just if I'm feeling overwhelmed or if I am having a bad day, I won't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm behind. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to be realistic with this course because it is, I love creative makeup. This is something different. This is way different. And so I'm still just trying to get a grip. And I do feel like I am balanced. But then like today, I just woke up so tired because I went to sleep later than usual because I don't know what was on my mind where I didn't go to sleep till like almost 10 this morning. And I'm nocturnal for those who don't know. Hey, Janessa, popping in and say hello. Middle project. That's crumbling. Oh no, put out them fires. Put out them fires, Janessa. I was going to text you earlier about something that's not significant. I'm glad that I didn't since you have that project that you're working on. Yeah. I appreciate you, Janessa, being here when you can. We are a multitasking bunch for sure. Powder. I'm looking like, put them out, Janessa, says Janet. So Fashion Fair, Set It Loose Powder, and Truly Tawny. So they do show us how Scott Barnes number 64 brush. Oh, shit. I knocked the cap, which means powder on my shirt and on my pants. Yo, there's so many makeup stains on my pants. That's why I have indoor clothes and outdoor clothes. But anyway, so, and what's crazy is that these are white leggings. My indoor leggings are white leggings, and there's like makeup stains and spots all over. I'm like, who puts on white to do makeup? Me. I do. So they show you how to apply a bald cap, but then they also show you how to make one. So I'm just like, ooh. I did Google around for like if that does become a thing that I'm going to need to do down the road, like on a semi-regular basis. I think it was the Spirit Halloween store. It has some for like $6.99. And even though that's not a lot, if it's something that I'm going to keep needing, like it will add up. And that's what they were saying. So if you can, they're like, just make your own. It is quicker just to buy it. I'm thinking of, I have 2 people in mind to ask if I can do some of my homework assignments on, because some of them I'm thinking it would just be easier to do it on somebody else than myself. But there are people that that put on their own bald caps. But like, we're watching Glow Up, when you see them do that, that's like a whole process. And I'm just like, we'll see. I am still excited about it. Powder all over my shirt, powder over everything. Powder on my station on top of the other brushes. For the powder that's left in here, we're going to tilt it and tap it back into the container. And whatever's left over in the cap, just so it's not messy when I turn it upside down and put it on the container. So I'm just going to close that up. Now we're going to take, I did not randomly pick House Labs today. I picked the shades that I cannot go wrong with. Some of you already know what that is. Excuse me. Any of the newbies on this? Hey Janet, locking in the newbies on this. I put it on an hour again. So if there's people coming in and speaking, I can't see who they are. Tightening the screws on my mirror. So we're going to be using medium level 7, hibiscus haze, and golden pyrite. Since we're going to be putting other stuff on the face, I didn't want to be like, ooh, let's do all of this cheek situation stuff. Medium level 7, cannot go wrong with this. This cannot do that. And you can see my contour anyway, so I just follow the line. Follow the line. It is really humid outside. I can tell by how it feels in here. It says it's 85 outside, but it is just very humid. That's how summer goes. I want to know. That's how summer goes. Let's put some bronzer on the nose. I'm tripping. I did have 1 sip of Mountain Dew. 1 sip. Sometimes that's all it takes. Put that brush over here because we're done with that one. Hibiscus haze, can't go wrong with it. This is House Labs as well. That brush we used for bronzer that I used as a contour and bronzer was F43 from Sigma. This is a Sigma F11, so we're going to tap in the middle of the broken up H, and we're going to swipe, and then we're going to tap. So y'all see why this was the first one I had and the only one I had for a while, because I cannot mess up on this. Like, this is just so pretty. But then I wanted more colors because I was like, I really love the formula. So this, like, this doesn't give me a ton of color. It is buildable to an extent, but if I just want something easy and I can put on as much as I want to and it still looks nice, this is it. Hibiscus haze for my skin tone and my undertone. And so can't go wrong with it. Am I sweating? Yeah, stick your finger on it so you can pull up your makeup, Dion. Let me tilt this fan up a little bit, and then I'll probably tilt it down later, because when it blows in my eyes, well, this eye, because it's coming this way, this eye will start to tear. Golden pyrite, House Labs. This is looking gnarly. I've had this, and it's past the PAO. I've had, ooh, because it only has a 12-month PAO, which is strange, because their bronzer has 24-month PAO. Oh, and their blush has a 24-month PAO, but their highlighters have 12. And it's, I believe it's because of the ingredients, because it says Bio Radiant Gel. So there's like a gel element in here, and so that would make it turn quicker or be less effective after a certain amount of time. But yeah, this is looking gnarly. So the PAO was August 24, 2024. That's almost 2 years ago. And I opened it a year before that. I opened it March 24th. No, February 24th, 2023. Damn, So I've had this like 3 years. Hey, Grace. Damn. So I do use stuff longer. See, and I can't go wrong with this either. So these are the 3 I had purchased for. I went into the store and swatched them. Purchased them first because I'm like, I can't mess up on them. And even with Hung Vango, like he does stuff. His shade range is according to skin tones. But then I'm like, with House Labs, I'm like, but it's so nice and the formula is nice. I'm like, I want more colors. Even like a Side Sky, that is clearly not for me, but you know what, I make it work and it is beautiful. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. What we doing? Spray the face, Scandinavia, Vital Formula. Oh, how do you do that? Ooh, that feels so good. Oh my gosh. Like a cool spritz breeze outside on a hot summer day. You know what it feels like? It feels like when you are, oh, thank you for the brush, Grace, and thank you for the floaty heart. When you're sitting like on the beach and it's hot and it's humid, and all of a sudden you just feel like this ocean breeze come blow in, and it's just like, oh, that's what this spray is like. That's what this spray is like. It's just like, well, y'all saw the mist on it, and it just feels so good. And they said they took a lot of time to find the correct or the perfect sprayer for that, and I believe it, because that sprayer, y'all. MAC Cosmetics Color Excess Gel Pencil Eyeliner. This is Pool Shark in our rims, and we're going to take the last word on our lower lash line, since the palette is in green and reds and stuff. I remember, it might have been yesterday, I don't even know. Or maybe it was a text I sent somebody saying I need to do more creative makeups, because those get more views than like me just doing a regular eyeshadow look. And then I remembered that I had said to y'all, at least once a month, I'll do a look from the book that Janessa sent me. Well, even if I do more than once a month, but I remember saying at least one will be members only. And then if I do 2, the other one will be public. And so that'll be something that we do. And when I started this program, I was questioning, am I going to be able to keep up doing 3 lives a week? Because just trying to find a balance in time to get stuff done. It's a lot, y'all. It's ain't no joke. It is completely different than just regular creative looks. This is Pool Shark? This is the last word. The one we just put on was Pool Shark. We're gonna put this underneath. My eyes feel like they're tearing already. This one feels like it's tearing. I really like the look that I did last night. It was definitely different for that palette, and it gave me a different look than the other ones that I've done, which was very nice because I wanted to do something different. And so now, instead of 2.5 looks from the palette, so far I have 3.5 looks from that palette. So that's what that's looking like. This is tearing upward. It's wet right here in this corner. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and put some paint on the face. And then so we're gonna take this out. This has my face paint brushes in it. And but I'm gonna trace it out first. I'm not good at drawing circles. I think I might want to use this one because this is closest to my complexion. The white is stark. Silver. This one is also from MAC Color Excess Gel Pencil Eyeliner, and this shade is Full Sleeve. My eyes are too pretty. I have trouble drawing circles and doing the number 8. Because the bottom of the 8 always comes out like it's almost a 9, because it's almost a straight line instead of 2 circles. So I need to go a little bit darker. I can see it when I look where I'm looking now, but over here, I barely see it. Okay. I know I got quiet. That's a better circle than that one, I think. Let's see. Let me do it over here. I can see easier over here than here because my hand is blocking my eye. This is not really a circle. We're gonna pretend it is. Y'all like, girl, what are you doing? Playing in makeup. That's the easiest answer I can give you. This eye is teary. I want you to stop. Paint. CC Beauty oil-based paint. I do not have this fan blowing toward my face. There's a two. Alright, so Janet, Janessa, and Locke, I think, and Grace are the members in here. What color balls should I do? Members get a say here. So if you're here and I'm saying, you know, stuff for the members, members have a say in some of the content we do. Membership, excuse me, right now it's $2.99 a month. You can cancel anytime. So if you want to have some say on what I do and also be able to make requests, joining the membership is a way to do that. Janet says green. I was waiting for Janessa to say green. And this is tearing downward. All right, so green. These are these. Let me see. These right here are neon. The top row is neon. These here are metallics. So we'll take this green. Or do we want a darker green? That's a neon green. That'll be a different color Christmas ball. So we have 5 balls. So green, and what else are we gonna do? We'll take that neon green. I don't think I've seen neon green Christmas balls. So we got 4 other balls. You might have stole Janessa's thunder saying green, Janet. Yellow, says Janet. I really love painting my face. I really do. And red, says Janet. I think because you multitasking less, Janet. I think that's why. Janessa is always working. Sometimes like she'll write like what she's doing. And I know you on your, not the treadmill. I know you're on your witchamajigget sometimes. But I think you your multitasking allows you to comment more Light blue, says Janet. So yellow, red, and light blue. Okay. Maybe each. I can put that brush down. Yellow. I'm gonna take this. This looks almost like a mustard. This eye is clearing. Look at this running down here. See the wetness down here? I'm gonna do a little yellow one over here. So this is Christmas in July. This is a little one hiding behind the larger green one. You know what? I could have used Inglot because that would have dried. The oil base does not dry. So I'm gonna have to powder it. This eye is searing horribly. Why? It's all wet. Put that brush down. And blue. You want to walk right down and mask it. So blue. Wait, red. There's a red next. We will put a red over here. I don't know if I've seen yellow Christmas balls either now that I'm thinking about it. What is your machine called again, Janet? I remember one time you said it, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. And you said it was like a, I don't know why I want to say you said it was like a trampoline, but it wasn't. It was like a walk. So that's the red one. So we have light blue, green, yellow, red, light blue. Light blue. Hey, Dawn. Oh, you do? Oh, no, I got quiet. Dawn. Oh, Pearl of White, says Jen. I was going to ask Dawn. I had asked the members, Dawn, like what colors to do these Christmas balls. I was going to ask you for the last one, but then Janet spoke already. Because she's the only one. Everybody else is multitasking. Well, she's multitasking too, but I was going to say, what color are we doing, girl? Just look at your face. So Janet says a pearl or a white. I don't think I've seen white either. I've seen silver. I do know in different parts of the country, there's different things. Different colors of the same thing. Just like with food, certain parts of the country are known for certain types of food. In other parts of the country, like Chicago is known for pizza, deep dish pizza. Philadelphia is known for cheesesteaks. Texas is known for Tex-Mex because it's close to the border. Tennessee is known for fried chicken and barbecue. Can't think of where else. What is New Jersey known for food? I don't know. But those are the ones off the top of my head. This is looking patchy. It might be. I am going to put a color over this. I was thinking of using golden pyrite. No. I was thinking of using fire opal just to tap over. the balls just for added dimension instead of just using white. So that's the blue. So we have a white. Well, I should say translucent. We seem to be known for coffee, says Dawn. I forget where you are, Dawn. What state are you in? Don't say you've been watching but waiting for the phone to charge. Oh, okay. What? And I feel like I should know. Well, white. Okay. I was gonna say what? Near Seattle. So you're in Washington State? If so, isn't that where Michelle is? Our official troll kid Michelle. Isn't she in Washington State? Y'all should meet up one day. If y'all close enough to each other. And you're Washington? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Michelle is in Washington State. Yeah. If y'all are not far, and to me far would be like an hour. Like if y'all are within an hour, I think y'all should meet up. Or whatever too far or close is to you, because it is relative. And I've met people up to an hour away. Because I look at it this way. If we keep keying on YouTube and we're within an hour of each other, we can just meet halfway somewhere. And just sit and talk, eat, chit chat. But that's just me. I remember I was on a no-buy or a low-buy or something. So it was a couple years ago. And there was, I forget her name. I was searching for it for a second. And she's like 35 minutes away from me. And so we talked about meeting because we would chat a lot on Instagram. Why is this looking like there's holes in it? 25 miles to your friend's house. Oh my gosh. She's not far before enough for me. I hear you. This, I'm going to use a sponge tip applicator, a lipstick applicator and scoop out, well not scoop out, but just graze on top of the white because there's other shadows, not other shadows, there's other colors mixed in here. And I think that's why it's looking funky to me instead of like a white. And so I'm just scraping off some of the paint. Because when I use it, sometimes it'll pick up the colors under there. And so then going back into it is putting the color into the shadow. So we're going to take a clean brush and go back into the white. And I had told her I was on a low buy, no buy or something. And so she was like, oh, well, let's meet at, where did she say? Marshall's? Or TJ Maxx or something, like in her area. And I used to live in her area, so I was familiar with, where she was talking about. And so we met there. And so I told her, I said, now remember, I'm not buying anything. I'm on a no buy. And so I was just following her around the store because I'm like, I'm not. And it was so funny because finally, she stopped and she had a cart and everything. She stopped and was like, okay, where would you like to go eat? So I think it just like clicked that I wasn't buying anything after like 10 minutes of following her around the store. So she stopped. It was like, okay, where do you want to eat? And I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. So she listed places that was around there, which I knew because I used to live in that area. And so I was like, okay, well, how about Red Lobster? We go to Red Lobster. She orders a salad. And I'm like, you want to get in a salad? She said, I don't like seafood. I said, why are we in this store? Why are we in this restaurant? I was just, like, why are we in here? She's like, well, because I asked you and I gave you options. That's what you chose. I want a flat brush, or at least a short brush. We're going to take this one. And it was just like, it was funny. It was funny. I don't think she was feeling it. I mean, I don't know. It was real cool talking to her though. Like I didn't get any like weird vibes or anything. And so I wasn't even finished eating. And I was maybe like a little over halfway done eating. And she was like, well, I need to get back home because I have a lasagna in the oven and da 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 da. And my husband is home. And I'm like, he can't get it out the oven. So I was just like, so I felt like she was just ready to go. Like she wasn't rude or anything. And there were no like weird vibes. So she was just like, well, I'm gonna have to get ready to go. A lasagna in the oven I need to take out. And then I gotta do this and gotta do that. And I was thinking too, she's just ready to go. Because when you set aside time to meet people, my experience is you just go with the flow. Like you're not on a time schedule, you're not restricted. You know what I mean? Because you don't know how it's going to go. Like if y'all really click, y'all might be like, oh, well, let's go to this store next. Let's do this. Like y'all might end up hanging out for, 2-3 hours. But yeah, I was just like, she ready to go. And then like, okay, I wasn't shopping, so that didn't take off. And then she don't eat seafood. We had Red Lobster. So I can understand that it's just like, okay, what are we doing here? And I really said to her when she's like, I don't eat seafood. I said, why are we in this restaurant? And she ain't say anything. I'm like, no, seriously, like, why are we here if you don't eat seafood? Y'all know I'm always going to say it. And she was like, well, because, this is what you chose. And da, da, da. And I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't like a concrete decision. Like, we're having lunch together. And that was another reason she said she only got a salad. She's like, well, because I have lasagna in the oven, and so I don't want to eat a lot. So I'm just like, why did we plan to meet on a day when, I'm not shopping and you want to go shopping? And, you're asking where do I want to go to eat, but you're not going to eat. So, I mean, that part was strange. I've never loved the drive, says Grace. What an excuse. Yeah, when you're ready to go, you're ready to go. And so I get it. So I was like, okay. And so, I flagged down our wait person and asked for it to go bag. And I'm like, I'm not even going to finish. And I had got a small plate or something. So it wasn't even like it was going to take me all day to eat. But I was just like, okay, let's just go. She's ready to go. But it was just funny to me because when I arrange to meet people, I don't have a time frame. I don't have stuff planned afterward because again, like you don't know, how it's going to turn out or if y'all want to hang out longer. This one dude I met, we ended up hanging out for like 5 hours. Just sitting and talking. We met at a Salad Works. And it was a nice day. So we ate outside because Salad Works, I don't know if y'all have them where y'all are, but they have like an outside patio situation. So we ate out there, and then after we ate, we walked around because it was in the plaza. So we're walking around, window shopping, and there was like a picnic area, with tables, and you can sit and talk. So then he was like, you want to sit and talk? I'm like, sure. So then we sat and talked, and then time went by again. And he was like, you want to go to that place right there and get ice cream? So we walked over and got ice cream, came back and sat down. Yeah, we were there for hours. That was the last time I heard from him, which was cool. That's the one who said he liked practicing. This eye, y'all, why is this eye running? But he was real cool, though. Yeah, but she was ready to go. She was ready to go. When I drove to see my friend in Philly, I got awkward after time because I was worried about other things. Yeah, because you were away from home, too. But I was familiar with the area I met her in because I used to live down there. So it was cool meeting her, but I'm like, she ready to go. And I'm like, she must didn't believe me when I said I'm not shopping. Because when people say they're not shopping, they're on a no-buy, but then they be shopping. You know what I mean? But it was kind of funny. I was just following her around the store. She's like, you're not going to look at anything? I said, no. So I told you ahead of time I wasn't shopping when you said you wanted to meet here. And then I'm thinking, too, like, what if... Excuse me if I saw this. Get out of my mouth. I was thinking, too, like, okay, you suggest that we meet at TJ Maxx, whatever. If you're shopping, you're going to be shopping more than, like, 30, 40 minutes. Because she was actually, like, walking around, touching stuff, looking at stuff. And so that made me think, too... with dinner when she was like, well, I need to get home because of this. I'm like, how would you want to be out shopping and then go to eat if you had to be back home? But anyway, I don't know what that looked like. It's supposed to be where the thing come out of, where you hang where the string come out of to hang the balls on the tree. fiddling with my brushes here. We're going to take this one, and there is a metallic silver. This is not working. This brush is way too thin. All right, we're going to put that brush down. We're going to take this brush. I hate shopping this online for me, and I still haven't ordered a palette. Awesome, Janet. I like shopping when I'm not on a no buy or low buy. This is not, you know what, this shade I have not used before, but it still seems like it should be, damn it, this brush is too big. It should be easier than it is. I need a smaller brush, I think. This is not adding any color to this black. This is the shade we're dipping into. This one right here. Yeah, I don't mind going in the stores and start shopping. I've never been a window shopper. Like some people, they just go to the mall and just walk around all day. I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to get in my steps. I'm just. So when I shop, it's like I know what I'm looking for, and I make a beeline to it, and then that's it. Even when I go to BJ's, I have a list. I know what I'm getting. It's in my cart already, so I just open up my online cart and get my stuff. And so when those people be like, oh, hello, and they're trying to sell something. And so the most recent one, this is not what I wanted to do. He was like, how are you? And so I saw his clipboard, so I knew he was trying to sell something. And I said to him, I said, I'm doing okay. I don't want to be rude. Whatever this is, the answer is no. And I just don't want to waste your time. And he looked at me and smiled. He said, I understand. You have a good day. I said, thank you. You too. Because someone be getting a belligerent. And I'm like, I don't owe you my time. I didn't come in here for that. I'm looking to see. I wanted this black. I don't know. They don't look like Christmas balls to me. You don't miss malls. When I'm responsible for it, it's just when you see a video of a closed mall, you feel sad when I'm responsible for it. That's right, Dawn, because you're not shopping. They closing all the malls. I want to do something to bring out this black, but black is black. Like, what am I talking about? Take this lime yellow. This shade is this one. I don't miss malls, but there's always fond memories because we hung out at the malls all the time. Yeah. When I was growing up, we didn't hang out at malls either. Where were we hanging out at? We would just go to somebody's house and just chill all day. But then I grew up not wealthy either, so it's like, go to the mall for what? Like, number one, you gotta take a bus to get there. Then number two, you're gonna get hungry at some point in the day. Who got money for food? So we would just go to somebody's house and just chill out. I don't know if I like this. All right, let's get to the eyes. Have you stopped tearing? All right. I'm gonna get these brushes away. The excitement of the mall. My mom and I were at the mall every weekend. Yeah, stuff changed during COVID. People would always be at the mall. Now you go in there, it'd be like crickets. And then when they had that thing, because of COVID, and in the summer times, it would be packed with teenagers. When the school year ended, you knew, because they was all at the mall. And so they started getting more security in, and then they implemented a curfew. I think the curfew, I want to say 6 o'clock, but don't quote me. They're like, mall, after 6 o'clock. Well, they'll be like, it's 5:40 at 6 o'clock. All minors in here must be with an adult, and Yeah, they implemented a curfew. I'm like, damn, they wasn't joking. You know how much money to spend at malls? We just hung out and had orange juice, looked at expensive clothes. Yeah. And where I lived, if you didn't go downtown to the hub of the transportation center, you would have to take 2 buses to get to the mall. excuse me, it was just easier and more fun and less restrictive to just hang out at somebody's house, because you don't gotta be like, where are we going? What are we doing? Why are they following us around the store? Just go chill out, smoke if you smoke, drink if you drink, order food when you got hungry, or walk down to the corner store and get something to eat. We went to makeup counters all the time. Groundwork paint pot, as y'all know, which has a nice hole in it. Like this, I panned the one that I was using before, so this is the newer one. But because I use it for every look, almost. Well, actually, every eyeshadow look I use it. Yeah, so I remember I was like 15 or 16, and I worked at the mall at Woolworth. Do y'all remember Woolworth? That's how y'all know I'm middle-aged. I worked at Woolworth, and so it was the Woolworth store, and then like in the middle of the mall, they had like a cutout, and it was a little diner area. So I worked in there. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I'm glad you see it, because I'm not liking how the balls look. I'm not liking how they look. It was very cute. And it used to be this guy on a bus. He looked like he was homeless. He didn't smell like he was homeless, but he didn't smell clean either. And he would sit in the back of the bus. He had a guitar, and he would just play music. And y'all, he was good. He was good. And I remember I used to wonder, like, what is his story? Like, what is his story? Because a random homeless person don't have that skill, let alone a guitar. And he would just sit on the bus all day. Like, he would just ride the bus all day. And sometimes people would go in the back and, you know, give him money. And I used to be, and I was like 15 or 16, and I would say to myself, I wonder what his story is. Like, how did he get here? Like, what happened to him? And so one day, marry me, when this is why we're doing Christmas in July. And I think I asked the bus driver one day or something. I was like, what's the story with that dude in the back? And he told me, he said, well, from what he's told me, a few years ago, you know, he lost his wife and his kids. And so he just checked out of life. Like, he didn't see a reason anymore. And I'm like, dang. And that changed too. And it surprised me even then that I was like 15, 16. And I'm wondering, like, what is his story? Because he was extremely gifted, talented, whatever you want to say. And so I was just like, what's his story? And so I'm like, damn. And some people don't come back, you know, when they have a loss like that. And they just check out. And I was just like, damn. But I knew it was something, because he was just so freaking good. I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to take this shade. We're going to do another unusual color combination. We're going to take this shade, and this shade is Mistletoe Mayhem. But yeah, but it was just like, and so, because sometimes people think people are homeless because, you know, they're just lazy, or, you know, they're drug addicts, and sometimes that is the case, but then sometimes it's not. And there's some people there's a lot of people who, they're paycheck to paycheck. And if something happens or you lose your job, you ass out, because your landlord don't want to hear about you lost your job, you can't pay your rent this month. And so sometimes it is a case where, you know, these are like, you know, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens, and something happens. And that's what happened with him. He lost his family, and he just checked out. I was just like, damn. And so, and there are some that's just on again, off again drugs, in and out of jail. But then some are not. Something happened, and they just didn't move past it for whatever reason. Now we're going to take this shade right here, and this shade is Loathe Entirely. That's that shade. Maybe I can tap the corresponding colors in here to the balls instead of using Fire Opal. But Fire Opal is what came to mind because it is a dual chrome, and just seeing like what it would do to these colors. I'm gonna do one day to show y'all my special effects kit stuff. I think we'll do it in the live stream. It's quite a bit. And it will get used for sure. It is just so much more than I thought it was. And I knew it was a lot from when we're gonna overlap that green, that first shade. When Ann was saying I should apply for glow up, I'm like, I am not on that level. Like I know my skill set and that ain't it. Like yes, I like doing creative makeup, but it's like I haven't worked in prosthetics, I haven't done ball caps, I haven't created characters, and that's stuff that they might be told they need to do. And I'm like, I don't even know. And so I don't know if they Google real quick to see how to do what they wanted to do. But when she said that, like, yeah, I was humbled. Like, wow, she thinks I'm that good to go. But I'm like, it's a completely different type of makeup. Special effects is completely different than just painting my face. We're overlapping that green. It. And I'm only on module 2. There's 9. And it is pretty straightforward, which is why, because I think the makeup ones I did, even though I crammed them and got them done, I didn't get homework until like the 4th module. This one, the second one. The second module, you got homework. So it's just, you just jump in like this hello, welcome. They show you something. Okay, now it's your turn to do it. It's like, wait, what? What? Yeah. Now we're going to take this shade here. This shade is Help Me, I'm Feeling. I'm going to take this one. So another unusual color combination, because we like to do stuff like that here. Because we can. This is not a shimmer like the other two, as you can probably tell already. I'm going to put this here. So should I take Fire Opal and tap on all the balls, or use a corresponding shade from this palette to tap on the balls? I feel so weird saying that. Tap on the balls. Excuse me, so that question is for the members. Corresponding shade from in this palette on the balls. I mean, as much as we can. Or just use Fire Opal, since that's a dual chrome, and just see what that does to the color of the paint. Because either way we need to set, either way we need to set the paint, because oil, it doesn't dry down on its own. Mine too. That's why I went, because initially, like before you got here doing, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna put balls on the face, and in my mind, I'm like, that don't even sound right. We're like one of those memes where the lady sit there and just hot dogs are being thrown on her face, and she's just like, I don't know if y'all ever seen that one. They're just throwing hot dogs on her face, and she's just sitting there. I was just like, oh my gosh. All right, I'm typing okay. So you still ain't gonna show me, right? Okay. Have you ever seen that one, Dawn? It was so funny. They just like pelting her with hot dogs. I'm putting to view it, but it's still not showing it to me. But yeah, I was just like, and that was years ago. Oh my gosh. I do like unusual color combinations. Like I really do. Looks a little wacky, but I like it. We're going to take, this shade gives fallout. I don't know if I want to mess with that one. We're going to take this one. And this shade here is Bad Bananas. I'm going to put that on the outer corner. So, question to the members still. Do I use a corresponding shade in this palette to put on the Christmas ornaments, or just use a translucent powder? Or, no. Use a corresponding color from the palette, or use Fire Opal to set it. There is the funniest gift of someone swinging fingers and where the camera is aimed is hysterical. You answered above. That might be the one that's holding for view, and I kept tapping it to view it, but it won't show me. Yeah, it's not showing it to me. My mom would only take me to JCPenney's or Sears, so never once went to makeup counters, and no way to food or treats on any excursions. Y'all don't see it. Yeah, that's the one that's probably holding. Yeah, I don't see it. Janet is holding it. And I kept clicking to see it, but it's still not showing it to me. So I must think it's really bad. Fire opal. On at least one. Okay, so what about the other one? So we got 5. And that question's for all the members in here. So whoever's in here, feel free to say what you think I should do. Yeah, so when I click to view it, it gives a pop-up that says potentially inappropriate messages are held for review. Chat messages held for review can be seen by you but are hidden from the public view. You can make them public or keep them hidden by selecting show or hide. This feature can be disabled in your settings. And so usually when I click got it, it'll show me what the message is, but every time I click yours, it gives me that same exact message. Corresponding colors. Fire openings 1. Our Sears just closed. Penny still holding on. Jules says Tanya. Jules says Tanya. Corresponding colors. On the others, you have a match. Okay. Got it. So we're going to do Jules. Fire opening 1 and Jules. On the rest if I don't have a match. I think that's what y'all are saying. This is definitely different. So we have the green, then we have the red, then we have the purple, and then a brighter green on the inside. I do like this. Looking at the shape of the shadow. Okay, lower lash line. I'm thinking, when I look over here, this is green. When I look where you are, is whatever, pink and turquoise. I'm gonna put that on lower lash line. And that shade is Jubilation. Jubilation. Okay, let's go Jubilation. Let's see this side first in case the other side wants to start tearing again. Christmas in July, very festive, a whole bunch of colors. You know what it is? There's no dimension to the ornaments. That's why I don't like it. They're just flat. I could outline them. Do I want to do that? We're not going to, well, I don't know. I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking how much do I want to do for that when we're also doing an eye look. This is not just a straight face paint creative makeup, you know what I mean? And so I'm wondering how much time do I want to put into it. But I think I do want to do something else to the ornaments. Yeah, my mind is somewhere else. Yeah, we're going to do the thing. I'm trying to get with these brushes, but I don't know. Or we might not need, well, okay, let me get a grip. I was gonna say if we're gonna tap something over it, what I'm about to do may be unnecessary. I'm just not liking how flat they look. We're gonna take, do I want to take a cream or a white? We're going to take a cream. We're going to take this shade right here. Just to give it some dimension, as if the light is shining on it from this angle. I do like that better already. That's what it was. It was just too flat. Okay. Easy peasy. Something small can make a big difference. Alright, Fire Opal. Fire Opal. Which one are we going to do Fire Opal? Do fire opal over the red one. Take this brush. Fire opal. See what that does to the red. Oh, oh, that's pretty. Oh, okay. And corresponding for the rest. All right, so I need more. This is gonna be more brushes. Shit. So we got 4 more. 4 more brushes. I'm gonna use 4 more of our hourglass number 3s. So we must have 6 of these because we just used 1. This is 4, which makes 5. So we have 6 of these. So what do we have? Yellow. I'm gonna take this one. It's not quite the yellow, but this shade is Holiday Who? And we're not tapping off the brush. What do we got? Green. We're gonna take Mean Green Machine. This one here. I'm gonna put that on the green. I'm gonna flip the brush over so as not to get oils in the paint. This looks nice in the mirror over here. I think it is looking more Christmassy because it's giving some dimension to the ornament. I didn't even finish the eye look. I need to do something up here. What else do we got? We did the red, got white. We used this one, didn't we? We did use that one. That's Jubilation. We're going to take Sour Sweet. Sour Sweet, this one over here. For the white. I'm going to turn it over. That didn't do too much. And we got blue. There's not a blue. We used everything in the top row. We didn't use Grumpy Glitter. We're going to take Grumpy Glitter. And we'll have used everything in the top row using Grumpy Glitter. Let me take more. Actually, I'm going to do both sides of the brush. I'm going to stand still this time. Is the chat moving? I see corresponding colors. Others, you have matches, Janet. I see yours, Tanya. Is the chat moving? And then I see I'm at a standstill. And I don't know if it's moving or not because I still have it set for an hour. So if this is pulling off the paint. So if new people are coming in and speaking, like I don't see them. So I don't know if it's moving or not. What shade did we just use? Oh, this one. Yeah, so I don't know. So this is a clean brush. So we used all 6. I like how we gave him some shine. That's all you see, says Janet too. So I'm going to take a brush with no shadow on it as usual. Just to blend these and bring it up a little bit higher. I think Thursday is a creative look. Don't quote me. Because yesterday I didn't even know what day it was. Because somebody said Monday, like we survived Monday. And I'm like, oh, today Monday? I was like, I thought it was Tuesday. Excuse Bruce. I love the effect that does. So what are we going to put for art? What did we not use? We used all the shimmers, all the metallics. Yeah, we really did. We didn't use this one. We're not gonna use that for under our brow. Actually, you know what? We're not gonna put anything under the brow. We're not gonna put anything under the brow. And this brush isn't even for that. That's for the lash line. This is the one we use for brow. So we're gonna put that away. We're not gonna put anything under the brow. Let me blend this a little bit more. Bring it up a little bit higher to the brow. Okay, so I'm not even gonna count, but we used a lot of shadows from this palette. I do want to count though. Y'all know I have a thing for that, and I don't know why. The 3 ornaments on the top look like a pineapple, pear, and an apple. They're pineapple, pear, and apple ornaments to hang on a tree. Because you know they do have all sorts of ornaments that they be putting on trees. I'm going to take this from Makeup Forever. And this one is Beetle Chrome, I believe. Yes. Artist Color Cream from Makeup Forever. And the color is 07 Beetle Chrome. Did I say Beetle Cream? I'm going to put this in our brows. I love this in my brows because of the shift that it does. I still do my brows with a brow pencil, even if I'm going to put something in my brows, because then I know where to put it, especially when I get over here to the tail part. So I don't have hair there. Let's just go with this. I don't know, but we're going to pretend it does. But we do what we want to do at the Crazy Troll Nation. I've been craving Papa John's again, y'all. I think I mentioned it the other day, too. I'm going out tomorrow. I need to send something back to Amazon. I ordered extra large, even though I wear large in women's, and it was a women's item. It was a camisole. It fit me like a medium. I was like, what the hell is this? So it ran extremely small. Taking them off sucks. I don't hang ornaments anymore. Anybody wants them on the tree, but nobody wants to take them off. I don't even celebrate anymore. Even when the second marriage, I put up the tree, I never took it down. And we had found a pre-lit tree. You just plug it in, and it came in 3 pieces. It was so easy, so convenient. And the reason I didn't take it down, because it was in front of the window in the formal living room. And every now and then, I would still light the tree. And one time, my neighbor across the street told me, they said, I love that you have your tree still up, and I love when you light it, because he said it just reminded me that there's some kindness and some love in the world. And people get different ideas of what, you know, Christmas means to them and what it symbolizes. And another neighbor, they told me the same thing. They're like, I'm glad that you have it up and that you do light it sometimes. So for me, why I kept it up was, I want to do yellow on upper lash line. Yeah, you do, Tanya. You was here for that. And when I left and the new chick moved in 3 days later, that tree, my neighbor said they took the tree down already. I'm like, the motherfucker. So we're going to take this one, and this is number 84. And because I was shopping a lot of Coach and stuff back then, I kept like all the, and they give you the bags. So I had like, you know, department store bags, Coach bags. I had all that stuff still like lined up under the tree. And sometimes I would sit in my rocking chair and light the tree and just sit there and meditate and pray. And the reason I kept it up all year, and it was up for years. When I put it up, it did not come down. And for a while, he would say, when you take it down? I'm like, I'm not. You want to take it down? And he would just walk out the room. That show you how lazy he fucking was. You want me to do it, but you don't. Okay, it's going to stay up. Because I wanted to keep it up anyway. What? 3 days? She moved in 3 days after I moved out. And he will take it to his grave that he never cheated. I'm just like, people are not stupid. Okay, just because you believe your lies doesn't mean everybody else believes your lies. And we were cool with all our neighbors. And so they saw. So it's just like, dude, we all know. 3 days after I left, she moved. I'm like, damn. And she was slick. And my neighbor, my next door neighbor, she noticed it because she had a red Kia Forte. And, well, they had other vehicles too. But she mostly drove the red Kia Forte. And she had said to me, she said, Dion, I would come home. Because, like, if she would take the minivan, she said she would come home and be like, did one of my kids park my car over there? Because she had a red Kia Forte. And she said she would see it parked up, because we had a corner lot. And then it was like a cul-de-sac if you turn the corner. And if you went straight, it was a dead end. It was like 3 or 4 houses each side and a dead end. And so she would park around the corner. And so, but she said she would go home and be like, did one of my kids park my car over there? And when she would open the garage, her car would be in her garage. So that's how she noticed it, because it was the same exact car. Y'all, the universe is funny. Same exact freaking car. And then after like a few weeks, she would park in front of the house. Not around the corner, but in front of the house. And my neighbor was just like, he still was lying. Did it transfer again? A little bit. We're going to just leave it. And after a few weeks, you know, she would park in front of the house. And then after like a month and a half, she started parking in the driveway because we had a 2-car garage. Well, I don't know why people with garages don't park in the garage. I parked in the garage. But anyway, so that's how we know, because she was like, one of my kids, and they were teenagers and they did drive. She was like, at that point, she was like, one of my kids, did you take my car out and park over there? If it would have been a different car, she wouldn't have noticed. But 3 days later, it was his car parked around the corner. Same exact car as hers. And dude will take it to his grave that he never cheated. And that's not the first one that he cheated on me with. And it made sense one time he asked me, when was I leaving? This is the true story, y'all, and I know I shared it a while ago. One day he asked me, and we would pass each other in the kitchen. He had long since moved into the guest bedroom. He was using the guest bathroom, so I'm in the master bathroom. He spent a lot of his time in the in the family room. I spent most of my time in the formal living room. So we really were just roommates. And one day he had said to me, oh, I need door lining here, unless I just do a small wing because this is dry. One day he said to me, and when we were passing each other in the kitchen, we didn't even speak. Because, like, what are you going to say? Like, you keep lying. And he said to me, I was going to go to work, or he was leaving for work. And he was like, do you want a divorce? I said, yes, I do. And I said, I'll make it easy for you. Because he had a thing where he never wants to look like he's wrong. He always wants to look like he's perfect. I said, I'll make it easy for you. I'll file. And then he said, well, which one of us is going to move? I said, I'll keep it easy for you. I'll move. He said, when are you going to be moving? And I thought, damn, that's your next question. And I went, as soon as I find a place, I'll let you know. I found a place in 2 weeks. They didn't have the model apartment that I wanted. And so the one I wanted was going to be available June 1st. This was in February. And so when I found it, I locked it in, paid my deposit. I said, I'll be moving June 1st. That's why he wanted to know. So she could know when she could move in. That's why. But yeah, he swore by it. He will take it to his grave. This is so dry. Hello, how are you? One who cares. That's a good name. I like that. I don't park in mine because it's not automatic. Ours was automatic. Yeah, she was waiting in the cut. And you know what? I did a drive-by at her house. That was a come up for her. We lived in a nice community, 5-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house, corner lot, almost an acre of land. And we were on a cul-de-sac. And as I said, it's the cul-de-sac. If you go straight past our house, it's a dead end. So you didn't get riffraff because if somebody drove down there, they were going to somebody's house. It was a really nice development. And so when I drove by her, she lived in the hood. It was a come up for her for sure. I said, you know what? I ain't even mad at her. This is a come up for her. I was just like, I ain't even mad. But that lasted a few years. They did get married. And then a couple years they got divorced. I'm like, see, your come up done came and went. No. They were married for a couple years and then they got divorced. So I'm like, okay, your come up then came and went. Oh my gosh, I talked about this before, probably years ago. She had 2 kids, and the kids, they went to school with my neighbor's kids, the one with the Kia Forte, the red Kia Forte. And so, y'all, everything was just too close. Anyway, so she had 2 kids. One was almost finished high school. He was 17. The other one was like 14. And the 14-year-old had the same class with one of my neighbor's kids, her teenagers. And she said to me one day that she doesn't see the older one a lot, and she wonders like where he lives at. And I'm like, well, that's strange, because as a parent, I mean, my mom wasn't the best mom either, so I'm just like, but he was always getting in trouble. And I'm thinking, because he's not getting the attention and the love that he needs from his mother. Hence, why some kids do act out. They're trying to get attention, or they're just like confused or angry. The way you got him is the way it's the way it ends for you. Um, my neighbor said to me one time, y'all, this fucked my head up for real. Um, and he never wanted kids. And I told y'all before, I knew when I was a teenager I didn't want kids. And so when he asked to marry me, I'm like, well, do you think you're going to want kids? And he was like, oh, I don't know. I said, well, you need to be sure. Because I'm like, I don't want kids. And if you do want kids, or if you think you might want kids, we're not compatible. And he said that, he didn't want kids. I'm like, okay, cool. So she had 2 teenagers. My neighbor told me that the older one, she put him out because they had moved in with her into our marital home. And she said, y'all, this fucked my head up. So the oldest one, she put out, so she don't know like where he went. And for all intents and purposes, like she was a single mom, so he didn't go stay with his dad. So he was just basically ass out on the streets, or like how I was, couch surfing, because I didn't have a place to call home. The 14-year-old one, she sent him down south to live with relatives. And this is what my neighbor said she told her. Well, it's not his responsibility, talking about the ex, her now husband. She said it's not his responsibility to raise somebody else's child. And so I'm sending him down south to live with relatives. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's some backward shit. If it's not his responsibility to raise somebody else's kids, but yet you're sending your kid down south to live with family members to raise your kid, isn't it your responsibility to raise your own kid? So that whole logic told me a lot about who she was as a person. It's not fair to him to raise somebody else's kid, but you're sending your kid off for your family members to raise them. Excuse me? I was like, damn, I see why they're together, because that to me was so backwards. And I got so angry. And they were both boys. And we know boys are quick. Well, I think girls are just more sneaky. Boys are quick to do some, illegal stuff because they're mad and they just start wilding out. And then I felt bad for the kids, because then keep in mind too, at that time I was counseling teenage boys. And so I was just like, what sorts of shit is this boy going to get into? And the older one being 17 going on 18, he's going to get charged as an adult if he get caught doing something criminal. And so I was pissed off. I'm just like, she sent her kid down south to live with relatives, saying it wasn't fair for the new hubby to raise somebody else's kids. Ain't you supposed to raise your own kid? And so it really was all about her, because if you don't want kids, don't date and don't marry and don't move in somebody who got kids. And if you have kids, and I don't have kids, I never wanted kids, but I feel like if I'm gonna bring this life into the world, this life is my responsibility to raise, to love, to take care of and make provisions for, not somebody else. And so even in my mind, not wanting kids, I'm like, that's fucked up. That's like the lady that moved out on her 12-year-old with her boyfriend, and he came home after school to an empty house, just picked up and moved, and her son I was so angry. And I know for me, some of my acting out was because I felt like nobody cared. I had a really bad situation happen, and my mom was not at all supportive in any sense of the word. And in fact, she made it worse. And I went through extreme, deep depression. And I really felt like, if my own mom doesn't love me and care about me, how can anybody else love me and care about me? That's really how I felt. I was 13. I felt, your mother is always supposed to be there for you. And if she's not, and she don't love me, and I know she did in her own way, like as an adult, but at that time, it was just like, so I'm like, if my own mother don't love me and she don't care about me, how can anybody else? It's like, what's the point in living? Like, yeah, so I went through a lot of shit. And that all came flooding back, hearing that bullshit. When you abandon your kids. Yeah, that really fucked me up. Because I'm like, my own mother don't love me and care for me. Who else will? It was like, what's the point in living? And I did make an attempt, which when I look back was more a call for attention, because I was suffering, I was struggling, and I didn't know how to express it. I was 13. I didn't know how to say, hey, I need help. Like, this is bothering me. I didn't learn good communication from her. Right, and that's the thing too. If she don't love me, how can I love myself? Like, I must really just not be worthy of love or care. Like, it really fucks with your head. If you're ever so unfortunate to have that feeling, like the one person that's supposed to always be there for you isn't. Why would anybody else be? Why am I even here? And so I did make an attempt, which was more a call for help, because I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to say, this is what's happening. Right, you don't want it in you. And I didn't know how to say that. So thankfully it wasn't successful. And another memory came up this one time, around that, within a year, that same time frame. As kids, we don't have the skills to voice what we need. Yes, and especially when the one parent raising you is working so much that they don't talk to you. Because she was working double shift, triple shifts. I mean, I understand that you got to work, you got to pay bills, all this and this and that. But at the time, all I knew is my mom isn't here. And she keeps sending us to different family members' houses to stay and to sleep because she's working. Like, as a kid, all you know is, why is my mom not here? As an adult, she had to friggin' work. My dad was in the military. He's somewhere overseas, wherever he was. Look at the crap parents that admit their kids to be just only. Yeah, I was so pissed. I don't even have kids, never wanted them, and I was pissed off. And so I'm looking at the chat. Hopefully the relatives were better parents for the kids. But the thing is, like, if the mindset was like mine, if my mom don't care for me, how can anybody else? So you can send me to live with whoever, but that's not a replacement for your parent. That's not a replacement. And so it's still just like, damn, my mom ain't even want me. She sent me away. That's the predominant thought is, okay, you can send me, because even when she would send us to family members' houses to sleep, it still was just like, I always felt displaced, because it's like I didn't feel like I had a home, because I'm sleeping here, sleeping there, and yes, they were family members, and yes, they love me, but it's not the same as a mother's love in my mind. It didn't feel like it either. I had ideation before, but no plan. Yeah, I formulated and executed the plan. Thankfully, it didn't work. You raised your brother, says Dawn. Wait a minute. I basically raised my brother, who was born when you were 10 years old. In my case, it's Dawn. If my mom sent me to relatives, I'd have been thrilled. Relatives much better. I just remember thinking, excuse me, like I had no home. And my mom is 1 out of 7. So it was just like, you just one of a whole bunch. Like, there was like no special attention. Like, you just wanted a crew. And so it wasn't, where with your parents, it's just like, you know, that love, that care, that concern, the quality time. It wasn't none of that where someone else was chosen as a priority over you. And so in my family, they are loving, they did love me. So nothing against them. But in my mind, I'm like, well, damn, like, can my mom just like spend time with us? That was Lip Glazer. I think it was Marrakesh. I only have 3 of them. I think it was Marrakesh. This is MAC Lip Glass Cushion High Pigment Lip Oil. And the shade is Pulse Deep Brown with Red Pearl. How do I know? You already know, y'all. Hi, my name is Dion. I'm a label whore. And one of my aunts, she said when I was about 15 years old, she was walking past the park and she saw me sitting on a swing at the park. So she said that I looked really depressed. And so she came over and sat on the swing next to me. And this aunt, I think, is 11 years older than me. So, you know, if I was 14, you know, she was what, like 23, 22. So she was still young too. Um, and so she said she came over and she said, you just had this look on your face and you were just, you know, sitting on the swing, like just staring at the ground, and you just looked so sad and so depressed. And she said, I tried to talk to you and, you know, you weren't answering back. And she said, so finally I just left. And I'm like, so you saw me sitting on the swing in the park looking depressed and you just leave me there. Like, you don't be like, hey, come on home with me, or to my grandmother's house, which was around the corner from the park. So even with that, I'm like, and I said that to her. I said, so you saw me sitting there and you're thinking I look really depressed and you didn't know what else to say because I wasn't talking to you, and then you just left me there. Anything. And I'm still here. So, but I'm like, well, what if I would have made an attempt at the park after you left? Like, how would you have felt? Y'all, I'm telling you, my life, I'm telling you. My grandma raised me, but my parents went on to have and keep their other kids independently. Why did you keep them and not me? Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, your mother is supposed to always be there for you. It's not always that way. And it's just like, why didn't you come get me? But I really lucked out with grandma. Awesome. And I will say my grandma tried, boy, but she had 7 of her own. And then me and my sister and then other cousins, when they came along, you know, we were just one of the crew. You got 7 kids and you got your grandkids. They all just blend into one person. But yeah, that tripped me out. You saw me sit there telling me I looked so depressed and you were worried about me, but then you leave me there. My grandmother's house was around the corner. You could have been like, hey, come home with me. Let's go to mom's house, my grandmother's house. I said, you just left me there just looking depressed. And that too is like, what? Really? You telling me how depressed I look and you just leave me there. Y'all. And I was wishing she never even told me that story, because then that told me something about her, but she was still fairly young too. But I'm just like, just like, what the fuck? If I see somebody depressed, I ain't going to leave you sitting here in the park by yourself. Like, Tanya, I was thrilled since Dawn when I lived with my grandparents for half a year. It is just crazy. So that's some insights into my life. Yeah, when I say I've been through some shit, Yes, they had raised me, I'd be like my bros and sis. Yeah. My mom had 2 other children. She was 15, says Dawn, that stayed with their dad. They probably wondered why she left them. Probably. Unless dad was a better place to be than with mom. Like, I don't know. And I know this guy I dated, you know, eons ago, when his mom and dad divorced, like 2 of the kids went to stay with a family member and 2 stayed home with the mom. But it was just for convenience for the mom working, you know, being a single mom now and having 4 kids. And so she couldn't handle it, which is understandable now. But at the time, it's like, well, why did they get to stay with mom and I get shipped off, or, you know. And so anyway, but as adults, they're all really cool. So, but hopefully they were better off than I was. All right, so this is the look, y'all. So Christmas in July. I'm still not feeling the ornaments, I'm going to say. This does look like a fruit bowl, for real. But this is Christmas in July with the Merry Mean One palette from Notoriously Morbid that did come out in December 2024. So I've had this palette, y'all. And the PAO was only a year. I've had this since December 2024. So I will use stuff for my personal use. And so this is what we did for the eye look. We did an unusual color combination, but you know what? I think it works. And then, so we have the green, the red, purple, and the lighter green. We did the yellow, the pocket. Then we have the ornaments on the face. And so this is what we got. I still don't really like how this is looking, but I do like the eye look. I think the lip was a good choice. I thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Janet. And thank you for listening to stories about my life. And believe me, y'all, there's a whole lot more. Shit. That's why now, and I'm like, excuse me, what? That's why a lot of stuff don't phase me. Like the shit I've been through, I'm like, okay, was that supposed to hurt my feelings? Like, and what's ironic, y'all? I know I said this before. What's ironic is that as of a few years ago, with my mom's dementia, she doesn't even know I'm her daughter. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. At first it was hurtful, but then I'm like, she can't help what her mind is doing. Her mind is doing what it's doing. But I was like, damn, like I really don't exist anymore. And I'm not mad or anything because that's the disease. But it was just like, wow. And I remember when I suspected that she didn't know I was her daughter. I went when she was in the nursing home, and I would go see her, check up on her, make sure they're treating her right, and all of that. And she was saying something about, oh yeah, that girl, that girl, that girl. And I'm like, what girl? She was like, you. And then I was like, and then I had a thought like, she don't know who I am. She was always glad to see me. Every time she saw me, she would smile and come give me a hug, but she didn't know who I was. And maybe wires connected. That's what I thought of too. But then I don't want to make it look worse. Can it be worse? I could do like a silver. Y'all could do that. Tina, buddy, how you doing? Neon outline to the lights. Wait a minute. So outline the lights in neon? I mean, okay, wait. Outline the ornaments in neon to add dimension and bring them out a little bit. Is that what you're saying? And that's why I put like, well, you can't even see them now since I put shadow on top. That's why I put like that little line here and there and over here, but then it got covered up. See, so let's go ahead and do that. Can it be worse? Sometime I ask myself. And you know what? I'm thankful for all my experiences. And I think it allowed me, especially working with teenagers, I can understand. I'm not going to say I understand where you're coming from, but I can understand the concept of whatever it is that's going on. Yes, I am a Christmas tree. We used our Notoriously Morbid. I knew that was going to fall. Palette. It came out on Christmas in 2024. So this is what's on the eyes. And also topped over some of the ornaments on the face. And I keep saying ornaments because initially I kept saying the balls on my face. But that just don't sound right. that don't sound right. I would really like to put a paint pot versus an oil, but oh, thank you so much, because I wasn't too sure. I think it would look great with a pink. It's too hot in here for that. When it's cooler, and I do have Carla sitting now, and I do remember, member said, bring her out once a month. It just needs to be a cooler day, because y'all saw that hair, so y'all know, y'all know. And because it falls this way, it would just stick to the paint too. Okay, so outline. I was going to say something and I forgot. These shades at the top are neon. These up here are neon paints. We did use the yellow. I need to scoop that black out of there. So maybe we will, maybe this one, except for the green. I don't know. There's no neons in here. These are metallics down here. Maybe this one? Yeah, we're going to use that one. We haven't used it yet, as you can tell. Very pristine. We're going to use this one. Let's see what this does. I need a different brush. I was going to say something and I forgot. I need a different brush. This is another reason why when I do these types of looks, I have so many freaking brushes to wash. Trying to figure out which one is the best one to use. Taking that same shade. This is a Esom T03. And I did have a lot of family around. I really did, because where my grandparents lived at, my mom's parents, 2 doors down, were some of my dad's family, like his cousins. And they were grown though, of course, but so I was surrounded by a lot of family. And where we lived at, Tinsel, says Tina, 2 blocks over and 3 blocks down is where my dad's parents lived at. So like why am I stammering? I was around family. But you said outline. I don't know. Well, it's okay. And the thing with this, I need to be wiping it off, because what this does is it contaminates the color. In the pan and on the brush. I forgot what else I was going to say. So when I say I grew up hard, like I did, and that's why a lot doesn't offend me. I'm like, I done been through worse. If I could survive feeling like I was unloved by my mom, I can survive anything. I don't know about this. I don't know, like, you did say neon. This isn't a neon, so that's my fault. Yeah, this is a neon. That was my fault. Should have did a silver. I'm gonna have another brush to wash. Oh, good grief, Charlie Brown. I'm gonna take this one. We used this earlier for something, and it didn't take though. And this is why it didn't take. It's too light. This gray right here, it's not showing up. This, I think I'm gonna just call it, y'all, because this isn't Locke said you can stop. Yeah, just give it up. Just give it up. Been married 4 times. My 3rd one was a butt. I had told my dad, I'm like, I wouldn't do this again, because that was my 2nd time. And when he said, he was like, well, look at me. I said, what do you mean? He's like, I'm in my 5th marriage. I'm like, wait, what? Because I thought it was only 3. I was walking, I backed up and sat down beside him. I'm like, say that again? I'm like, well, who? So I know my mom was the first. So I thought she was the 2nd, and then the one now, Angela. And he's like, no. He said, your mom was first, but then it was somebody else. And then it was Sook. And then it was somebody else, and then the current one. So I'm like, well, who's number 2 and 4? Like, I said, you know what, Dad? I might do this again. Because I said, wait, what? Papa was a Rolling Stone. And the whole time he was a preacher since he was a teenager. And his, y'all, don't get me started on preachers. The silver I did may work for that glimmer. Silver? It did. I put the silver here. It didn't show up. Good to you, do. I was done. And then, you know, when the members speak, when y'all members speak, Tina, I do listen. Why is there like this piece of pink right here in the middle? All right, where's the brush? Because we were just using the silver. It doesn't show up over the blue because I outlined the blue and you don't even see the silver at all. If I'm not sure, it's just not showing up. This silver, it's not showing up. I need, you know what might work, or one of those neon paints. And the things with the cream is that it will just bleed into one color. So we're putting the silver here now, but you see how it's breaking up the purple, but you still don't see the gray. This is what we're using. And that, it's a learning curve. This gray is not showing up. This is still that gray shade, and it is not. It's not really showing up. I ain't taking it off and starting over. I can tell you that. When I take it off, we are done. Yeah, I jacked that up really nice. So let's put that down. Put you away again. That got me just trying random stuff here. Number 97. Inglot, another brush. Looking at the time. But because these paints, they do need to be set with powder, so that's part of it too. Where they're activated, they dry down, and you can paint over those, and those colors will show up versus it just bleeding into like the same kind of shade. Oh my gosh. And it is on the brush. Some ain't. Oh God. I think we're done because this and something else interesting, y'all. I was never in a fist fight with a girl. The fist fights I were in were with boys. Yeah, I was a fighter. And I didn't want to be. I remember this one, she was a science teacher. I didn't even like science, but she was so freaking nice. And because my home life was the way it was, I wasn't trying to rush home after school. And so after, the last bell rang, because teachers still would have stuff to do, I would go to her classroom and I would just sit and just talk to her while she's finishing up the things that she needed to finish up. And this one time, it was 2 boys in the class. Well, it wasn't even a class because it was after school. And I walked by and one of them smacked my butt. I turned around, punched him right in his face. And his friend was like, damn. And the teacher looked at me and she's like, y'all 2 need to go. So she wasn't even mad. She was like, y'all 2 need to go. And she put them out the room. His friend was like, damn. And I'm like, I'm looking at him, daring him, word a friend, to try something else. I turned around. The teacher, she didn't even fuss at me or nothing. She looked, she's like, y'all 2 need to leave. And when they walked out, I'm thinking, okay, she's telling them to leave because she's going to tell me off. She ain't say nothing about it. I was like, okay. So clearly she was on my side because she saw what he had did. She ain't say nothing about it. Punched him right in his face. And another time, some boys tried to be smart. So when Trump is like, grab him by the, grab me if you want to. Shit. Somebody else had touched me or something. Turned around. He put his hands up. His friend was like, don't do it. Yeah, he put his hands up. His friend was like, don't do it. I think that, see, at the time it wasn't funny. But at the time, I'm thinking in my mind, yeah, motherfucker, what? We can go toe to toe. His friend was like, don't do it. And now I'm thinking back to it, it was funny. Don't do it. I'm like, oh shit, his friend knew I was gonna fuck him up. And that was a reflex. Somebody punched you, you're gonna be like, hey, his friend said, don't do it. And he didn't do it. So I waited a few moments and then I walked off because I wanted to see what he was going to fucking do. And he ain't do nothing. So I walked off. There was another time where a dude did swing back at me and we was about to go at it. He swung back at me. I swung back and his friend grabbed him. And so we was in round 1 of boxing. And his friend grabbed him. And I was always big for my age. I wore a size 10 in high school, in 9th grade. So I was always kind of like, you know, on the huskier side of things. But yeah, you ain't gonna fuck with me. Seeing too much coming. Yeah. Because I'm trying to get that thing that Locke was talking about, but I look kind of clownish. But yeah, that didn't work too well. But you know what? Hashtag I tried it. Now I'm just cleaning out the paint from in here. Because it does pull up the paint from on your face. Yeah. I'm just trying. Like, if y'all say something, I will definitely try it. But I never was in a fight with any girls. Maybe because I was too husky. Maybe, I don't know. Every now and then somebody say something, I'd be like, and they would just walk away. My face said it all. Try it. Look at her do that. They would just walk away. Just walk away. All right, we're done. We're gonna put that away. So that's some more tidbits about my life. That's why when we would get the not so good trolls, I'm just like, that's all you got? That's it. Your connection disappeared? It did spin like 5 minutes ago. For a usual hour and like 53 minutes. But this is it. So again, Christmas in December. Girl. Christmas in July. Merry Mean One not available on their site anymore. I do have a code below if you want to see what other stuff that they have. And this is what the palette looks like. And this is the eye look. I really could do without this. But anyway, you know what? We was trying new things. We had some fun. Played with, excuse me, some paints. And so this is the look that we got. I thank y'all for being here. Thank you to Replay Crew if you came back. Yeah, we were just making up shit, like seriously. But as far as the makeup, but all the stories were true. Your comment disappeared. Yours, dear. I don't know what that goes for. Starting over 16. Nope, not starting over. We already done. Your first was abusive, and second you converted to ISL. You found the best one this time. Tina. Congratulations. Tina, you funny. Because you said, oh, you said do it till it's right. Do it till you do it right. And then later on, you put starting over. Yeah, we were trying to do things. Yeah, and you know, and I don't mind trying things because you know I learned. I know now that don't put anything over the creams until I set them because all it's going to do is just like bleed into the other colors and you know whatever else. It's going to move stuff around. And so it is a learning lesson. Like I should have for these ornaments. And it is still over here, but I feel like because I do creative makeup quite often, like nothing's really an experiment anymore. I feel like, but I do still have it. But yeah, so we're gonna go. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the Replay Crew. Thank you for new people who popped in and hung out, even if I couldn't see your comments. I do appreciate your time. I don't know what we're doing on Thursday. I don't know. I ain't even gonna say. But I do know next Monday is a collab between Tanya's Beauty Box and I. She's going to schedule her video for I believe 7 or 8 a.m. And I'm going to do my look as a live stream that night on Monday night. And yeah, I do have scheduled I think at least 4 more lives, but we're going to go for now. And I appreciate each and every one of you. But we're going to go. This is what we got, y'all, and I do not regret it because I love hanging out with y'all and I do love trying new things. I really love the eye look. It's very colorful, different color combination placements. This popping yellow liner, so that I'm really digging. I love the lip, love the brows. But we're here and we're adorable. So thank you, y'all. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you. And you'll see me soon. Bye.